Let's take a look at every Premier League club and their best moment of the season. Arsenal, Alexander Lacazette versus Spurs. If there's one game every Arsenal fan wants to win before the season starts, it's Spurs at home. 2-1 down at half-time in early December, most Arsenal fans were probably getting ready to delete their social media. But no, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang leveled the scores early in the second half before Alexander Lacazette batters home a 25-yard effort to put them ahead. Lucas Torreira added the icing on the cake minutes later, allowing Arsenal fans bragging rights in the area. Then again, if Spurs go on and win the Champions League, Arsenal might as well just cancel their goddamn club. Bournemouth, Nathan Ake versus Spurs. Okay, so Spurs, no, I'm not picking on you here, alright? But when Spurs visited Bournemouth in early May, Eddie Howe's side had won in 6 home games, stretching back to January. For Christ's sake, they'd just been slapped off Fulham in front of their own fans, and were now tossing some Irish kid from Killybegs and nets. But no, Bournemouth won, with Mark Travers turning to Shay Given for the day before Nathan Ake popped up with a last minute winner. By the way, Gareth Southgate, I don't care if Travers has an English granny, you keep your hands off him. Brighton, 3-2 versus Man United. Nowadays, Brighton can't seem to win for love nor money, but at the start of the season they were registering their second consecutive win against Manchester United. They won 3-2 in a game where Paul Pogba displayed all the work ethic of a dead fish. This was a game which made Brighton fans confident of a push for Europe. Nah, you spent most of the season getting slapped around like a hard-boiled egg. Burnley, Ashley Barnes versus Spurs. Right, we're 4 teams in and I've chosen Spurs again. No lads, I don't have a vendetta against you, but I'm sorry, when you lose 13 games of the season, you're going to appear in these sort of lists, alright? After a traumatic opening 6 months, Burnley moved up to 13th in late February after Ashley Barnes' late goal gave them a 2-1 home win over Spurs. They'd go on and lose their next 4 games, so it was pretty handy that they won this one. Cardiff City, Sean Marston versus Brighton. Now you might have assumed Cardiff's best moment was winning at Old Trafford. What, you mean in a game that didn't matter? Nah, not at all. April 16th, Cardiff travelled to Brighton for a relegation 6-pointer. Chris Hughton's side, with confidence and morale having been flushed down the toilet, ended up losing 2-0, tightening the gap between these sides to just 2 points. Chelsea, Europa League semi-final. To be fair, this has been a difficult season for Chelsea, but hey, if you win a penalty shootout in a European Cup semi-final, that's a big moment. I mean, it was the Europa League, which is to the Champions League what Deji is to KSI, Crystal Palace and Ross Townsend versus Man City. Sorry Vincent Kompany, this was the goal of the season. I don't care. 35 yards out, catching it crisp on the volley and seeing it fly over Ederson into the top corner. It was the sort of goal the F2 would probably take about 50 shots and several hours of editing to perfect. And Townsend did it in one go, and Palace went on to actually win the damn game at the Etihad. Incredible. Everton 4-0 versus Man United. I'm just gonna go for the whole game here. Everton 4 and Manchester United 0. Considering this was a teething season for Everton, what a scoreline that is. Of course it did help that Manchester United played like a bunch of drunken homeless lads who'd spent the previous hour sniffing petrol fumes. Fulham Alexander Mitrovic versus Huddersfield. Trying to find a half decent moment for Fulham in this season is like trying to find teeth in Sunderland. I'll go for their 3rd win of the season though, going 4 days after Christmas. That's pathetic. Fulham needed this. Abubakar Kamara just fluffed a stolen penalty against Huddersfield. The scores were level before Alexander Mitrovic popped up in the last minute to win the game, and no doubt stopped Claudio Ranieri from joining Kamara in a bathtub immediately afterwards. Huddersfield Town, the day the season ended. Next, Leicester City, Demarai Gray versus Cardiff. I know Brendan Rodgers is the new messiah, but I'm actually going to go for a moment on a club well. No, not Jamie Vardy's winners at Stamford Bridge or Goodison, not even Ricardo Pereira's stunning winner against Man City. I'm going for November 3rd, 2018, when Demarai Gray bagged the only goal in a 1-0 win at Cardiff City. What was so special about it? Well, it was the first game after a horrific helicopter crash which claimed the life of Vijay Shrivand and Abrapa. Powerful moment in the season. Liverpool 4-0 versus Barcelona. Well, obviously it's the 4-0 win over Barcelona. In a season of insane moments, this has to top it. 3-0 down to Lionel Messi's men after the first leg, and armed with Divock Origi and a pack of winegums up front. How the hell did Jurgen Klopp's side pull this one off? Man City, Vincent Kompany versus Leicester. Without a doubt, the greatest moment for Man City this season happened just 2 weeks ago. It's 0-0 against Leicester at home. 20 minutes left on the clock. City know if they don't win, they pretty much forfeit the title, and to make matters worse, their non-scoring centre-back was resorted to taking pot shots from 30 yards, a pot shot that flew right into the top corner and won them the game. I'm sorry, Vincent Kompany or Cristiano Ronaldo? Christ up, but what a strike! Man United, Marcus Rashford versus PSG. Best moment and also the worst thing that could have happened to this squad. Yes, Marcus Rashford's last minute penalty to pull off that 2-goal comeback against PSG was brilliant, but again, worst thing that could have happened in a way. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was immediately given the permanent job, which is like marrying someone after 3 dates. The players clearly believe their own hype, and before you know it, they've lost 8 of the last 12 games, ending up in 6th without a trophy to their name. Paris seems like a million years ago. Newcastle, Matt Ritchie penalty versus Man City. This was the night where Liverpool won their title. Apparently, Newcastle also started the game in late January, 2 points hovering above the drop zone. Then Sergio Aguero scores after a minute. Most of the fans were probably expecting another 5 to go in and to spend the evening drowning sorrows on the bucket of brown ale. No, Solomon Rondon levels up in the second half before Matt Ritchie buries a late penalty 10 minutes from time. That would be the last time City dropped points, and it was in January. Christ above. Southampton, Charlie Austin versus Arsenal. When your team is in trouble, you can always rely on Arsenal to roll over and die on the spot, giving them a helping hand. It was mid-December, Southampton had won 1 game all season and none out of the last 12. They were 19th in the league. And then the Gunners rolled up for Ralph Hasenhüttl's first home game in charge. 3-2 to Southampton, with Charlie Austin grabbing the winner 5 minutes from time. Spurs, Lucas Moura versus Ajax. Never mind best moment of the season, this was probably their greatest moment of all time. Lucas Moura bagging a last-second winner against Ajax, completing not only his hat-trick but a comeback from 3 goals down to advance their first ever Champions League final. Someone build that man a goddamn statue. Watford, Gerard Deulofeu versus Wolves. 2-0 down against Wolves with 20 minutes left. It looked like Watford's FA Cup adventure was ending at the semi-final. And then Gerard Deulofeu happened. Up off the bench he scores 1. Troy Deeney nearly takes the goal off with a last-minute penalty before the former Barcelona man begs the winner in extra time. West Ham, Mikel Antonio versus Spurs. West Ham always love a good win over Spurs. How about becoming the first away team to win at their new stadium, thanks to Mikel Antonio's second-half stunner before dancing like a madman. Wolves, Diego Jota versus Man United. So many moments for Wolves this season. Let's go for Diego Jota, putting them 2-0 up against Man United in FA Cup quarterfinals this season. Wouldn't be the first time they beat United that month.